Hello everyone. I am Dr. Poonam from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Government College श्री गंगानगर। आज जो पोयम मैं आपके साथ डिस्कस करने जा रही हूँ वह है अर्थ बाय रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर। यह पोयम महाराजा गंगा सिंह यूनिवर्सिटी बीकानेर के एमए फाइनल के 9th पेपर इंडियन राइटिंग में प्रेस्क्राइब्ड है। Rabindra Tagore was born in 1861. He was the son of Maharshi Devendranath Tagore. The Tagore was a famous family of religious and social reformers, musicians and artists, and Rabindranath was brought up in a literary atmosphere. In this poem Earth, the poet Rabindranath Tagore pays his respect to Mother Earth. The poet says, "Accept my homage, Earth, as I make my last obeisance of the day, bowed at the altar of the setting sun. You are mighty and noble only by the mighty. You counterpoise charm and severity, compounded of male and female. You sway human life with unbearable conflict. The cup that your right hand fills with nectar is smashed by your left. Your playground rings with your mocking laughter. You make heroism hard to attain. You make excellence costly. You are not merciful to those who deserve mercy. Ceaseless warfare is hidden in your plants. Their crops and fruits are victory wreaths won from struggle. Land and sea are your cruel battlefields. Life proclaims its triumph in the face of death. Civilization rests its foundation upon your cruelty. Ruin is the penalty exacted for any shortcoming. In the first chapter of your history, demons were supreme, harsh, barbaric, brutish. Their clumsy, thick fingers lacked art. With clubs and mallets in hand, they routed over sea and mountain. Their fire and smoke churned sky into nightmare. They controlled the inanimate world. They had blind hatred of life. Here ends the first part of the poem. So, we will discuss the first part of the poem today. Accept my homage, O Mother Earth. The poet is paying his respect to Mother Earth. He says that Mother Earth, you should accept my homage, my respect. Earth, as I make my last obeisance of the day. So he says that as I am doing, Mother Earth, my last worship of the day. Because bowed at the altar of the setting sun, I am bowed at the altar. I am bowed at the altar of the setting sun. This is the time of the end of the day and the sun is going to set. So I am bowed and at the altar of the setting sun. So you accept my respect. You are mighty and knowable only by the mighty. Next, the poet says, Mother Earth, you are mighty. You are most powerful and you are known by only by those who are strong, who are powerful. You counterpoise charm and severity. Counterpoise means make a balance. You make a balance of charm and severity. Charm is the beautiful object. Severity is the ugly objects. Charms and beautiful objects and the ugly objects. You make a balance. Compounded of male and female, you sway human life with unbearable conflict. Compounded of male and female. You have compounded both the things, male and female, both the human beings. There is males also, there are females also. You sway human life with unbearable conflict. Sway. You sway human life. Sway is the move slowly, slowly and slowly. You sway human life, you move the human life slowly and slowly with unbearable conflict. The conflict which is unbearable. The conflict, the struggle that can't be that can't be bearable. The cup that your right hand fills with nectar is smashed by your left. Next, the poet says that there is a cup in your right hand, and in your right hand, in the right hand of the earth, the cup is filled with nectar. Nectar is a very good thing. अमृत सो तुम्हारा हाथ जो है राइट हैंड जो है वो नेक्टर से भरा हुआ है इज स्मैश्ड बाय योर लेफ्ट लेकिन वो तुम्हारा जो हैंड है लेफ्ट हैंड इट इज स्मैश्ड बाय द लेफ्ट हैंड इट इज स्मैश्ड योर प्लेग्राउंड rings with your mocking laughter. Your playgrounds are ringing with your there is a sound of the mocking laughter. There is a sound of the mocking laughter in your playgrounds. You make heroism hard to attain. और heroism जो है, what is heroism here? Bravery. बहादुरी बहुत ही कठिनाई से दिखाई जाती है. You make heroism hard to attain. बहुत कठिनाई से प्राप्त की जाती है. Attain means to get, to achieve. You make heroism, so heroism, bravery is achieved with a difficulty. You make excellence costly, and excellence is very costly near you. You are not merciful to those who deserve mercy. You are not merciful to those. Next, the poet says to earth that you are not merciful. You don't show mercy to those persons who deserve mercy, to those objects who deserve mercy. Ceaseless warfare is hidden in your plants. Ceaseless warfare. There is a continuous war is going on in your hidden plants, in the plants on the earth. Their crops and fruits are victory wreaths won from struggle, because there is a struggle is going on, and struggle is the why the struggle? Struggle for good, because there is with that struggle there is crops of fruits, there is crops of vegetables, and victory wreaths are the garlands, victory garlands are there, they are won from the struggle, they are only attained by the struggle. Land and sea are your cruel battlefields. Land and sea both are your cruel battlefields. They are land and sea both are the battlefield of the earth. Life proclaims its triumph in the face of death. Life proclaims its triumph in the face of death. Life proclaims. मौत के अंदर ही क्या है? Life proclaim its triumph, the victory. देयर इज़ अ विक्ट्री. मौत के अंदर ही जिंदगी अपनी जीत दिखाती है इन द फेस ऑफ डेथ. सो देयर इज़ अ life proclaims its triumph. There is a victory of life in the face of death. In the face of death, it is hidden in the face of death. Civilization rests its foundation upon your cruelty. और जो सिविलाइजेशन है, रेस्ट जो संस्कृति है, जो सभ्यता है, रेस्ट इट्स फाउंडेशन, इट इज़ रेस्टिंग, इट इज़ लेइंग इट्स फाउंडेशन अपॉन द क्रूएलिटी ऑफ द अर्थ. क्रूएलिटी मीन्स व्हेन देयर इज अ डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑन अर्थ, देयर कम्स civilization on earth. Ruin is the penalty exacted for any shortcoming, and if there is any shortcoming, if there is any mistake, so that is, what is the penalty by earth? Ruin is the penalty. Ruin is the only penalty given by you when there is any mistake, when there is any shortcoming by anyone. Next, the poet says, in the first chapter of your history, demons were supreme. In the first chapter of your history. Now, the poet comes to the history of the earth, the starting of the civilization, the history of the earth. Demons were supreme. Demons kaun the? Rakshas. They were supreme. They were harsh, barbaric, brutish. Their clumsy, thick fingers lacked art. The demons, they were harsh. They were not good. They were rude. They were harsh. Barbaric. Barbaric means khatarnak. They were very dangerous. Barbaric. Brutish. Brutish means not good. जानवरों की तरह. Their clumsy thick fingers lacked art, and the thick fingers of the demons, they had thick fingers in their hands, and clumsy means not beautiful. Their fingers were ugly. Their fingers were black and ugly, and they lacked art. There was no art hidden in the fingers of the demons. With clubs and mallets in hand, they righted over sea and mountain. With clubs and mallets. They had clubs and mallets. Mallets are the hammers in their hands. They righted over sea and mountain. They righted over. They had a right over sea and mountains. Their fire and smoke churned sky into nightmare. Their fire and smoke. There was, due to their right, there was fire and smoke in the sky, and it turned into a nightmare. Nightmare means बुरा सपना, खतरनाक सपना. तो एक खतरनाक सपने की तरह से हुआ जब राक्षसों ने आग और धुआं आकाश में फैला दिए, तो वो एक खतरनाक सपने की तरह दिखाई देने लगा. दे कंट्रोल्ड द इनएनिमेट वर्ल्ड. दे कंट्रोल्ड द इनएनिमेट वर्ल्ड. और इन दिस वे demons controlled the inanimate. Inanimate means निर्जीव, that is lifeless world. They had blind hatred of life. They had blind hatred of life. They didn't like, they had a hatred in their heart towards life. So the first part of the poem ends here, and we will discuss the second part. I will discuss the second part in my next video. Thank you very much.